Hey guys, Cheryl Pace here. I know it's kind of a little bit of a strange topic and kind of an elephant in the room, but this is something that's near and dear to my heart, and it's really been weighing on me, so I felt led to talk about it today. I might get a little emotional, hopefully not, but if I do, whatever. So the title is Suicide, Why Not? Doesn't mean I take the side of suicide, but I just want to explain a couple of things. It may seem odd to bring it up right now since it's springtime and the holidays are over. Everybody seems to feel like the holidays are the most, maybe the riskiest times for suicide. But the fact is that it's actually springtime. Maybe some people didn't know that. I bet a lot of you didn't. I'm not a psychiatrist or psychologist, but I can tell you this. Believe it or not, I'm speaking from experience. So that's where my take is coming from today. First, I want you to know that my personal belief is not that suicide is a sin. I don't believe that anyone who has committed suicide is going to hell. And I certainly don't think that suicide is a sign of weakness. As a matter of fact, people who are ever considering suicide are some of the bravest people around because they probably endured a tremendous amount of pain, whether it is physical pain or emotional pain. As a matter of fact, the risk factors for suicide are emotional pain stemming from childhood, such as abuse, whether it's physical, emotional, verbal, sexual, maybe it's neglect. How can neglect lead someday to suicide? Well, I'll tell you that if you're neglected, you feel worthless. You don't feel worthy of love. You don't feel worthy of life. Some of the other risk factors are mental illness like depression, bipolar, schizophrenia, chronic or terminal illness, a significant loss, bullying is a reason why people commit suicide these days, which is terrible. Most people have been affected either directly or indirectly by suicide of a friend or a family member. So I really felt like it was important that we know what the signs are, and if we see those signs, what can we do? So, or if you're somebody who's actually feeling this way, what can you do about it? Is there really hope? So first, let's address the warning signs. Now, this is a huge topic. There's no way anyone could ever cover all of it. So I'm just going to kind of do the basics. And when I'm finished with this video, I'm going to put some links that hopefully can be helpful to you. Whew, choking up. So some of the warning signs that might be really blatant are talking about death, dying, self-loathing, talking about I'm a burden. I don't want to be a burden to people, writing poems more about death or dying. You know, it's a myth that if people talk about suicide that they're not going to do it. That is completely a myth. That is actually one of the cries for help that people are putting out there. Sometimes people are seeking things out that could help them to hurt themselves. Knives or guns are very obvious. Pills. Getting their affairs in order. Giving some of their prized possessions and most valuable possessions away is another sign. Making arrangements for their family members. All of these signs are kind of blatant, but then there are subtle signs that are equally as dangerous, and those are hopelessness, just expressing the fact that they're going through a hard time and they just don't see anything ever getting better. Feeling like a burden, like I said, that one really resonates with me. Self-destructive behavior, maybe drinking more than usual or doing things that are really risky. Saying goodbye, unusual or unexpected phone calls to friends or family members. That can be a sign, guys. A sudden sense of calm. Oh, Amanda, I'm so sorry. So a sudden sense of calm can mean that somebody actually decided that this is what they're going to do, and all of a sudden they're feeling calm about it. Or mood swings. You know, someone's really outgoing and suddenly they're withdrawn, or maybe they're well behaved and suddenly they become really kind of, I don't know, getting in trouble. That can be a sign. So what do you do when you see these signs. So it's a myth. I'm trying to tell you some of these myths and the facts that if you talk about it, it's going to make it worse. Well, I can tell you that it is definitely not the most comfortable subject to bring up.